The Rapido monthly update is to highlight what's new for the Rapido community, specifically noting the development highlights for the February 2026 release. New to the Rapido community, I'd first like to give a warm welcome to the newest members of the community. Congratulations to these libraries that completed their implementation projects and went live in January. Our team is excited to be working with all of you. Rapido is a global community with the Vocational Training Council going live with Rapido, joining from Hong Kong, Bryn Mawr College joining the Rapido community from the US, and the University of Johannesburg joining the community from South Africa. The University of Johannesburg, in a partnership with the University of Zululand, were the founding members for the first Rapido pod in their region. Rapido libraries are now live with library management systems of Alma, Folio, and Sierra. Our community can find monthly release notes that document release highlights as well as resolved issues for each monthly release. Check out the 2026 roadmap to look at the key deliverables expected for this year, post to the idea exchange, and vote on ideas for enhancements for Rapido, and connect with one another through the listserv with their queries and information sharing. The February release has many sizable developments. I like to point them out to you, and then the documentation can just support a deeper dive into each of these topics. Connecting with our partners is an important and foundational theme of our Rapido developments. And there are two developments that I really want to highlight related to our Connect theme for this February release. One of these developments being a slew of new partner fields available to you. These new partner fields are available for you to customize at your library to add additional information to your existing partner records, for you to note this information for your local use. Local use cases might be workflow dependencies, matching to your CRMs or finance systems, analytics, sending marketing information, etc. There's a variety of use cases here, and some of those might be a bit more clear to you as we dive into what each of those new fields possibly are. So let's look at those new fields. The first being alternate account number. It's a free text field that is like alternate symbol in that they're both free text fields and allows for additional information to be stored locally on your partner records about your different partners. Some libraries may find value in using this field to log account numbers that match this partner record to their CRM use or to an outside finance system use, or otherwise for hosting additional information about a partner record. Send communication allowed is a new field of a yes or no value. Some libraries may want to note if their local marketing materials can be delivered to partners, and this field can be used accordingly. Account allowances, sector, and organization type are fields that will only show on your partner record if they have been customized by your library to do so. Each of these new fields has their own customization pathway, and you can customize those options to then show the values that would be represented and available to you under those fields. So for example, account allowances is populated by that customization pathway of configuration, fulfillment, resource sharing, partner allowances, and you define the various drop-down options that you can then select on that partner record through that configuration pathway. Account allowances can store multiple selections on that partner record. Sector is populated by a customizable drop-down option to allow for additional information to be stored on the partner record, and it is a singular selection available. Organization type, likewise, is populated by a customizable dropdown to store additional information on your partner record and is a singular dropdown value, but that value that you choose for that partner record is again customized by your library team, and that pathway is configuration, fulfillment, resource sharing, partner organization type. Thinking about connecting with your partners, we have another development, the new notes field that was brought forward through the NERS process, ID number 7472. You can see here the internal note field and the note to partner field. This screen may look different from your familiar workflow because these options are available to you for that Ship Digitally workflow, regardless of that Ship Digitally pathway that you use, whether you go directly in from the request, you go via fulfillment, etc. The note option is available to you to add those notes for internal use or notes to partner. But what I want to point out to you is the notes to partner do not get sent to Rapid ILL partner types. So when you are lending, you can add these notes for internal use or notes to your partner, and they'll be communicated to your partner, except for with the Rapid ILL partner type. The Rapido staff user experience has a lot of developments. There are 3 key functionalities in the February release to highlight for your staff user experience. One of those main ones is configuring prioritization of lending from your various locations. Why might this happen, or when might this be relevant? First, it might be relevant when you have physical holdings that you're lending from for either the Ship Digitally workflow, where you are shipping from physical collections that you've digitized, or from that Ship Physically workflow, where you are sharing your physical items with another library. Why might this configuration considerations come up for a library? Maybe the library has multiple branches. Maybe the library has multiple holdings of an item. Maybe the library has varying staffing capacities or staffing volumes at the different locations and want to be able to prioritize which location then handles that request. Previously, transit time configuration was only available and applied to ALMA functionalities within ALMA fulfillment for local patron requests. The configuration applied allows for the automation for selecting the preferred holding or copy to be assigned for fulfilling the request. Now with Rapido, libraries can also use this transit time configuration for their move functionality for digital and physical resource sharing requests from their physical holdings. This same mechanism that you may be familiar with for your local fulfillment now applies to your physical and digital resource sharing requests. This provides more precise control over which copy is chosen for both local and lending requests when sharing from your holdings, your physical holdings. It's also now possible to assign a digitization priority level to a particular location. Lending requests may be filled by different copies from different locations. Adding efficiency and accuracy to the digitization process by allowing you to customize this digitization priority. When libraries have physical holdings in multiple locations, the library may prefer to lend from some locations over others. So this allows you to customize that prioritization so that lenders can use the automations of Rapido to support lending from the preferred locations, again, supporting that efficiency and accuracy within the digitization process. Moving a step away from configurations and more so thinking about the workflow pieces now within your lending with Rapido. Previously, shipping an item for that physical workflow required the item to have a barcode. Now, Rapido supports shipping items using their item ID when a barcode is not available. This applies to your various workflow pathways again. So if you are updating the shipped physically items from fulfillment, from ship physically, or via scan in items, this option is available to you. When you are shipping an item via the item ID, that is the identifier that you'll see in the screen, as there will not be a barcode associated with the request. And then moving back into thinking a bit about lending configurations that support your lending workflows. There are new parameters available to libraries to configure in their shipping cost rules. So first off, what is a shipping cost rule? It's the means to define and automate the costs that you assign to your request for your non-reciprocal resource sharing partners. So your pods today are reciprocal. So this is for thinking about working as a lender to those non-reciprocal partners beyond your pods. The shipping cost rules are configurations that automatically assign the request costs when a request is shipped based on the input parameters. What are these new fields available to you that you can use in your shipping cost rules? The location of the supplied item, the organization type from the partner record, material type of that supplied item, shipping country from the partner record, the currency from the partner record, or your resource sharing library, depending on your local configurations there. And then a new output parameter of the shipping cost rules is the VAT field. What does a shipping cost rule look like in relation to some of these new fields? Here we have a shipping cost rule with an input parameter of organization type being organization 1, material type being an input parameter, the shipping country being a parameter, the currency, and the location of the item. When these variables all come together, your output parameters are also then defined in your shipping cost rules. So if you then ship a request that meets these rules or these criteria, these rules, those costs are applied at the time of shipping. Something to note is that when an item is shipped, the shipping cost is typically populated on this screen. However, if a shipping cost rule at your organization has an input parameter that relates either to an item's location or the material type, the shipping cost can't be calculated and shown on the screen prior to the item being shipped, as it is dependent on that item being selected and associated first with a request. So if that is the case at your library, you'll see this little information icon giving you that insight. So thank you. The release is documented. Let me know if you have questions.